Hey, it's PhilzGoodMan, and the long-awaited Krunker patch 2.0 is finally here, and there's a lot of changes, features, and improvements in it. Some of you guys may have been a bit disappointed that some of the really big changes were not yet implemented, but there's also things that you may have missed about the patch. So in this video, I'm going to be covering 8 things that you should really try out. This patch really has a wide variety of things in it, so there's some balance changes, new features, new settings, changes to the map editor. So it's going to take some time to unravel. I think that a lot of people were really excited for the anti-cheat, and we're going to have to see how that plays out because I believe it's working on a shadow ban system. So the developers probably won't reveal exactly how it's going to work. The other thing that immediately sticks out is the change to the scoreboard, so it's no longer always on screen. And I admit that this is definitely going to take me a while to get used to, and I hope that they allow the ability to have both the kill feed and the scoreboard always on. There's pretty significant changes to both philz and the Bowman, which I'll be covering in this video. Surprisingly, some really good improvements to mobile, which I'll also be talking about. Beyond that, there's more tweaks to settings available and some other quality of life improvements. And at least for myself, the performance feels really good, but your mileage may vary. So I'm going to jump into it and talk about 8 things that you must try in Krunker 2.0. The first thing to try is playing philz and learning the new shotgun spread. So it's no longer a randomized pattern. A lot of people have been asking for something like this for quite some time, but since there's a lot of other really good classes in the game, balance can be tricky and small changes can make a class no longer relevant. So I do like this predetermined spread. Games like Apex Legends use it. So like a Peacekeeper has a predetermined pattern, and I think generally players do like this. But the big question is going to be, will people still think that the shotgun is OP or not? In my limited time testing, it seems to be just about as strong as philz was before. And you might not be getting as many random long-range one-shots, but at some point, the players are going to learn the optimal shot placement for the predetermined spread. So like 1 shot headshot and then 2 body shots. One thing's for certain though, people will still be complaining about philz being OP. For this patch, you're definitely going to want to be taking another look at your weapon offset settings, and that's just because the arm positioning has changed. I actually like the feeling of this better now. I think it looks better. Can't really explain exactly how, but for the most part, you can get the gun to block your screen less, and I'm currently enjoying a weapon offset setting, a weapon Y offset setting of 2, and then the other value is at default. It just puts the gun super low and out of your vision. It kind of reminds me of arena FPS like Quake. So this is kind of one of those changes that I didn't know that I actually wanted. So it's definitely worth taking another look at your weapon offsets until it feels comfortable to you. Just keep in mind that the weapon offset settings seem to look a lot different depending on the class that you're using. So I advise that you play around using a few different weapons. The next thing that you should try out, or in this case know, is the reload animation. And this is definitely one of the most important things. I would say that in most FPS games you can see other players reload, and then of course you can use that to your benefit and know when they're vulnerable. So this is super great that it's added to Krunker. It's really good change. The only thing is that the reload animation is like very subtle. You can see here that Triggerman kind of just looks like it's bowing down. Maybe you can even fake a reload by like looking down and up. The other thing is that it's even harder to spot when you're jumping. Have a look at this clip, and believe it or not, Hunter just reloaded. And let's do a crouching reload, see what it looks like. There it is. A bit more apparent. And I'm gonna do another jumping reload. And that was a reload, and you could hardly notice. So if you're like slide hopping really fast, it might be almost impossible to tell. But anyways, if you want to hide your reloads, just try to be in the air. The next thing to try is the free spin, and I believe in the past, if you followed Krunker on social media, you could get this free spin. But they actually made it so if you subscribe to a content creator, you can get that free spin. And in this case, they made it me, which is super awesome. So thank you guys so much for doing that. And I believe it's going to rotate like every patch. So all you have to do is go to the Krunker shop, and you'll see like a free spin here. You click the link, it will link to my YouTube channel or whoever the featured content creator is. Subscribe to them, go back to Krunker, and you'll get that free spin. You don't see it here right now, and I think that's just because I already did it, but that's what the free spin's all about. And earlier today, I also did some spins because there's new skins that have been added to the rotation, and some of them are really cool. I believe that they're mostly community creations, so I'm definitely going to try to get them. And in these heroic spins, there is a 0.1% chance to get unobtainables. Not sure if it means that you can get previous unobtainables from it, but anyways, that's in the game now. So in the model viewer, just some skins that I liked. I think that this 8K skin is really cool, and I'm definitely going to try to get this sniper skin as well. Challenges are now available in Krunker, so definitely try it out. It is an experimental feature, but it does work, and it's another way to earn KR. I think that challenges are a really great way, especially for the casual players, to stay engaged with Krunker. Also for any free-to-play players who want to earn skins, this could definitely help out. So I believe that you have to actually finish the game in order to complete the challenge. So just watch here as the game ends. And challenge has been completed. Next thing to try or experiment with is definitely going to be the Crosshair opacity settings. So that's like a transparency. Opacity is the opposite of transparency. So the greater the value, the more opaque or less transparent it is. So this allows you to keep the crosshair aimed at the enemy, but also does not obstruct your field of vision. And the cool thing is that it does work with custom crosshairs, so crosshair images. Usually I don't use a transparent crosshair, but I am testing out a value of 0.9. After this update, I tried playing Krunker Mobile again, and I was really impressed. The performance improved a lot. The only thing is that the controls, not really there yet. Can't customize the layout, can't reload, stuff like that, just basic stuff. But just check out the performance because it's like a night and day difference from when I previously played Krunker Mobile. I mean, just look how smooth those frame rates are. Like, small changes and then I feel like I could actually somewhat compete. The touch input feels a lot better. It's a lot more responsive. So I'm definitely looking forward to the future of Krunker Mobile. Last thing is definitely try playing the Bowman, and not just for the lulz. The Bowman was buffed by having a faster reload time, and doesn't mean that the Bowman is like super OP or good. I'm not saying that the Bowman is viable competitively, but I can see it being useful in certain situations, for example being able to one-shot an LMG user. The other thing is that my Bowman performance seems to vary from patch to patch. Sometimes the hit registration just feels really good, and this is one of the patches where the hit reg, at least for me using the Bowman, feels on point. To sum things up, I think that this was a much needed patch and it's definitely headed in the right direction. Fixed a few things and set the process forward to fixing even more things. I've been really enjoying the additional settings and features, but really what it comes down to is, will the anti-cheat be enough? And we'll just have to wait and see. If you made it this far in the video, first of all, thank you so much, but I do have a few things to talk about before I go. The first is for any new subscribers who may have found this channel through the free spin, welcome. And the second is I'm working on a website. It's called philzgoodman.com. Not too fancy right now, and it's never going to be like too insane, but just going to be a place where I put up blogs, articles, stuff about Krunker, because I found that there's a ton of websites that, you know, try to push scripts or hacks on the internet, and not enough websites that are just, you know, about regular people playing the game. Last thing, obviously everybody's thinking about COVID-19, so please just stay careful. Sid already put up the banners in the game that says wash your hands, and you might be looking for hand sanitizer in places where you can't wash your hands, but sometimes the hand sanitizer is sold out. The good thing is that CDC and WHO, they already have guidelines saying that all you need is alcohol concentration of 60% or more. Full disclaimer, I'm definitely no doctor or scientist, but if you Google like WHO hand sanitizer, they do have a PDF that shows you how to make it, but what I did was scale it down into smaller batches. So we got 75% isopropyl alcohol, 4% hydrogen peroxide, 1.5% glycerol, and then you fill the rest up with boiled water, and that makes it about 90%. So make sure to use boiled or distilled water. Also, everything that you're using to make this should be like 100% sterile. So that's why I'm using the gloves. You may have to adjust the recipe because you might not have the 99.8% isopropyl alcohol. You might have 92% or 70%, and 70% is going to be harder because remember, the end product has to be at least 60% alcohol or above. You can also use ethanol, which is the type of alcohol that you drink. Just has to be, again, similar to isopropyl alcohol, above a certain percent. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm definitely enjoying the new patch. It's not perfect, but it's got a lot of things that are much needed. Looking forward to seeing how the anti-cheat works out, and if that's the case, I'm definitely going to jump back into ranked. The other thing is I'm super looking forward to the future of Krunker Mobile because I think that Krunker has a lot of opportunity as a mobile game. So this has been PhilzGoodMan. Thank you guys so much, and please subscribe if you haven't done so yet.